let me get into my normal blue. And we'll just start out with my standard oval here. Is that? That's not on my screen, that's actually on the thing. Is that on the... That's gonna drive me crazy. What's going on there? Oh, is it because my opacity on the eraser is... Yeah, that's why. I've never been a fan of doing Loomis heads, like not following the rigid draw a sphere, cut the ends off the sphere kind of thing. How big is this brush? Seems like it's a little big for these. All that kind of thing here. I'm much more okay with starting with the oval in the first place and then modifying it from there. Alright, so I should make a little wheel for what expression I want to do. Let's start with happy. It's always good to start with happy. Right, so happy, we're going to get a... Make sure that the mouth is contained within this space. We're going to get a big ol' smile across the top here. And just unapologetically happy here. And if I do it, oh, did I forget to add music? Apologies. I just stole a, well, not stole. I'm using PCAT's music playlist. She said it was okay. If someone comes in, they'll have to tell me if that's too loud, but no one's watching right now, so. Alright. Get some ears in here. Do I want them looking straight ahead? We'll keep it simple for the first one. Looking straight ahead. I just made this ear look a little bit longer, that's okay. We'll lengthen out this one to match. It's flitting back and forth on both sides. The mouth is open, so we're going to widen this out and sort of round out the jaw. This is the top of the head here. We can refine that later. It's a little bit melony. Hold on. Get that refined later. Happy face, right? Now with a happy face, you want everything going up. So like corners of the mouth are going up, right? I may have made that a little bit. And the eyebrows there going up, but like curving out upward. There's parentheses framing the energy of the face that's coming out. Don't have more symmetrical than that. Maybe. I'll just grab my lasso and bring that down a little bit. That's fine. These are all just practice anyway. And let's see, happy. I'm going to round out the top. And maybe push up the sides. That's always, because with happy your cheeks are getting pushed. And I don't think the nose needs to be emphasized too much with this one, so I'll just indicate the little keystone here. Now, should I refine each of these, or should I... I think I should go with a slightly darker color here and fewer pixels. Let's see. This brush does give like a little softness to everything. Skip those. That might be adding too many lines in for a happy expression. But, you know, it's gonna pushing up the wrinkles on the sides of this face, and here let's get the basic details of the ears in. For a starter, I'll just be okay with that for right now. We're just going to get a few warm-ups out of the way here. So we had sort of happy, and I definitely added too many lines there, but if I decide to go through and like ink these later, I can just pick and choose which ones I want. So let's, if we had an eye in the center, here would be an eye on the side, here would be an eye on the side. Oop, that one's not as wide open as the other one is. There we go. Alright. There would be the nose, eyebrow, line, mouth, somewhere in the middle. Alright, so next expression, let's go. So we got happy, where everything's pointing up, right? And then let's go angry. In angry, everything points right to about here. Right? Everything points to there. So we have like the sides of the mouth. Open it up wide. There, pointing up to that spot. I don't know if anyone watching does this, but do you, when you're drawing the expressions, do you make the expression when you're drawing? If you see me on stream, you probably will notice me trying to like just to feel out where it is. This. So, what else though? We got, there'll be lines pulling on the side of the mouth. Pulling it down real hard. Like that. And not only that, it would be, you get the Batman narrowed eyes here coming in, right? Hold on, wait. Not curved down. Let's push the sides up. That always creates the extreme expression. And of course, the reason why these are pushing down is because the eyebrows. Let's see, look at the keystone shape of the nose here. Something like that. Very angular. Angular shapes for angry because it's sharp, it's dangerous, anger, scary. And you get so you can kind of nostrils be flared up. And let's get, I don't think I put the irises in for the other one. Whoops. Their focus will be narrowed, so not cross-eyed, but like they'll be looking down at you. And once again, we have these wrinkles in the forehead. They're also going to be pointing this spot right here. Let me come over here. Yeah, I did. I 100% forgot to put pupils, put irises on this guy over here. Oh wow, he looks a little bit demented here. Let me just, yeah, nice, simple. Well, crooked-eyed there, but this is actually solving, like, this is practice for a couple of different things for me. One, it's just like shaking off rust. I haven't drawn consistently for a really long time. But also, one of my weaknesses is definitely consistency. Like, I'll draw the same character 5 times and they'll have 5 slightly different jaw lines, and it takes me out of it. But also, I just tend to draw my characters with the most boring blank expression, or even like kind of sad expression on their face. I don't know what that says about me, but I think it really helps to have a emotion in mind when you're drawing the character. So we got We got happy, everything's kind of pointing up. Angry, everything's pointing towards the center. I can remove that little dot there. You know what? I would even like to take his eyebrows. Well, I did not do a good job with the selecting there. Then you get shift. Leave the keystone where it is. That doesn't move. Oops. Not shift. Alt. And let's... Yeah, there we go. Even more angry. So that's some happy, some angry. Let's go with sad. Make a sad face. Let's see. One eye in the center, one eye on the side, one eye on the other side. Just gonna get the eyebrow vaguely in there for right now. Get the nose would be somewhere around here, and the mouth would be somewhere around here. This side of the face very clearly formed in my haphazard circle drawing. I'll start there, and then here, there, and there. That doesn't look quite right to me. So sad, we want everything falling off the expression. Sort of a pouty mouth right here. And eyes, right? The eyes are gonna, the eyelids pointing down like that towards the back. The eyes tilt down. Again on the other side. Should I... Can we good if I open this just a little bit? Right, and eyebrows too, right? We're gonna... Hey May, how you doing? Yeah, it has been a long time. I haven't been able to draw for a really long time. You know, my job doesn't involve a lot of drawing, so when I get busy, it kind of falls off. How's your comic coming along? I've seen you stream it like a bunch of times. I haven't always been able to get in there. Chapter 8? That's like... That's an accomplishment. I've gotten as far as writing the first issue of my comic. Like, I have the first draft. Yeah, life does get busier. Let's see, this person's... He make a sad face. Me too. I would also love to see my comic come to life. It's getting... I've given it to some friends to read over and get some feedback, and they have generally positive comments. But I mean, they are my friends, so they would, wouldn't they? But like, it's coming. It'll get there. I want to publish it before I'm 40. That's the goal. I can erase this this middle eye. Sad. I've identified like my weakest areas for right now. I'm not saying I'm necessarily good at everything else, but I've identified what I think are my weakest areas, and I'm trying to work on those as much as possible before I really get started with making anything. One of them is consistency and expressions, which is why just drawing tons and tons of heads is what I'm doing right now. Value is another thing. I'm going to go do a workshop later today where I go outside and do a bunch of like plein air drawings. And then just expressivity, like actually giving the characters a little bit more life. Which I don't know why I spent so long not considering that. Happy, angry, happy, angry, sad. What does bored look like? You get the mouth to be pushed like over to one side. The eyes would definitely be like flat on top. Where you could see like the eyelid. Cast off to one side. There's a lot of nose action in the board pose, so I'll just maybe highlight these nostrils a little bit. But I do think the eyebrows would help. Yeah, stay as long as you want. I talk to myself while I'm drawing anyway, so I figure I might as well start putting it on stream. You know, it doesn't add any extra work for me. I also got a lot of work to be doing. I'm fantastic at procrastinating it, though. I'm a teacher in real life, and the semester will be starting pretty soon. Bored, you don't really have a lot in common with tired. We can get some of these like eye bags. That's so pronounced here. I feel like when you knit your eyebrows, you get that little pinch in like that, right? Well, I definitely did something here. I don't know if it's the bored expression I was looking for, but it's definitely an expression. my default faces are very, like, they look very male. Maybe I can... Oh, thank you. Yeah, expressions are one of the things that I'm working on. Welcome to the stream, Dr. Frederick. Expressions, consistency, and then later today I'll be working on value, but that'll be outside, so I can't stream it. I feel like my jawline got a little asymmetrical there. See, I'll just flip the whole thing. Yeah. That's a quick fix. The eyeliner I gave makes it a little bit more feminine, so maybe we can thin out the eyebrows a bit. Mr. Angry Face. like you get that little M fold in your nose when you're being really angry. Nostril should flare out more. It would help if I ever looked at reference. The back of the throat in here. Oh, I have the opacity turned way down. You always get stumped by simplifying the expressions. Deciding which lines on the face to show and where to omit. So, yeah, something that I've been playing around with, or an idea I've been playing... Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't realize I had it on 40% opacity. Something I've been playing around with, you can see my little arrows here, is that with like a happy expression, anything that is helping with the idea of pointing up, like, you know, you got the smile part here, you have the eyebrows, you have the rounded part of the eye kind of pointing up. That's something to include. And then anything that's not helping with that directionality, you can consider getting rid of, unless it's like iconic to that particular character. But like, I am not an expert on this, right? Like right here, I'm taking a look, these little lines that I often put under the eyes, I don't think that's helping with the happy expression too much, so I'm gonna reduce them a little bit. Whereas with anger, everything is pushing in, like everything's here, and then the mouth is where that gets released. So you got like energy building up like a spring in the top part of the face, and then energy coming out at the bottom part of the face. Sad, you can see my lines here. Anything that's giving the idea of pulling downward is going to be helpful. And I haven't figured these out for like every facial expression, but that's kind of where my brain's at right now. I might decide that it's like not useful later on, but that's what I'm currently thinking about. What kind of stuff do you like drawing? I think I'll do hairstyles on a completely different stream. Everyone's just going to be bald today. Yeah, me too. Some days it's creatures, some days it's plants. Many days it's just figure or heads. Yeah. I also am hoping to build up my skills to the point where I could make my comic idea. So I think of it like I'm, I don't know, I'm walking around collecting items, key items that I need, like it's a video game, until I get there. A video on swordsmanship for writers and artists, a lot easy to show visually than explain. Yeah, I could see that, because how can you explain like proper stance with words alone, at least in a succinct, like quick way? Yeah, definitely having illustrations to back that up, I can see how that would be helpful. Like, even if you were talking about like fencing, and the like backhand, how it goes out when they thrust, like, it's a simple idea, but I don't know that if you're not totally familiar with it, if you would be able to visualize it immediately. Yeah, a Moulinet. And it's like that writing chestnut, right? Show don't tell. So you got the right idea, I think. That sounds cool. Like a channel that's got art and discussions of like swordsmanship and stuff. That sounds really cool. That is a big part of learning any topic, is just learning the vocabulary, and then once you get there, it's way faster to learn anything. Hey, welcome to the stream, Gloria. I don't know if the open mouth was doing me any favors in terms of a sad expression, so I'm just gonna close it. Like, go with what is drawing your interest at that moment in time, right? Like, if you wanna dive into some murder drones, you live your bliss. My problem is that I have, like, my brain will attach itself two ideas or things, like little micro obsessions, and then trying to get myself to switch tracks is very difficult sometimes. But like, you know, I got to go do my actual work sometimes, so you have to get that balance. Yeah, I've definitely been all over the place for what my brain has latched onto. But it all, like, everything I kind of obsess over at some point becomes useful to me. Like, I was mentioning earlier, like, in real life, I'm a teacher, and being able to draw is quite helpful. Kind of like you were saying, like, to be able to just show a visual of what you're talking about rather than having to describe it with words. And the students seem quite entertained whenever I put something on the chalkboard. The only downside is, in my friend group, no one will play any kind of like Pictionary or other kinds of board games that involve drawing with me. A little draftsmanship can go a long way. I gotta get better at draftsmanship. I'm honestly quite sloppy. Oh, scrunched up mouth. Oh, wow, that side of the head got away from me. I think it was the angle. There we go. That's a little. Yeah, I agree. Drawing characters and stories are more appealing than exercises. And like, if you have a comic that you're working on, I know May's still watching the stream. They've been working on a comic, and we were just talking about this a little earlier. Like, you'll have to force yourself to draw things that you would never have thought of otherwise, just to tell the story that you're trying to tell. And like, if you have a character that you enjoy, like their design, you're going to be more eager to draw them over and over again, rather than my little, blank-faced bald guys here. which maybe I'll bring in some of my characters on another stream. Yeah, I think probably the best way to enhance your drawing skills is to try to make a comic. Couple of different expressions here. I am doing the most boring possible head angles, just like they're all straight on shots, but that's because I'm also trying to work on consistency. And so I'm just getting a whole bunch of mileage. One eyeball in the center, one eyeball to the side, one eyeball to the side. All right. This might be my last one for this stream. I gotta walk my dog before I head over to that drawing workshop. So let's go with surprised. Surprise is always fun. Let's really round out the eyes. Yeah, I'll just do it. Not tiny mouth. Let's do mouth agape surprise. Something asymmetrical, perhaps. Cool. It's starting to look more like terror. Maybe that's what it is. There's a lot of variety in this playlist. This is the first time I've used this. Oops. Yeah, let's change the curve there so it's more opened up. Let's get deep into these eyes. Oh, thank you. I haven't given anyone else like a substantial nose in this sheet yet, so let's do that. Please redraw any character from my series Danger Island. Episode 1 is called Danger Island. Episode 1, Keeping Up with the Cardanger Islanders. It sounds fun. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last thing I do on the stream for today, at least. I have a drawing workshop that I'm heading out to. It's a rich, full day of art and sitting at a computer. Fortunately, the workshop's out in the park, though, so that should be nice. Get that bald head in there. Oh, that. Okay, I am realizing that I have a lot of right hand bias when I draw. Yeah, that's something to specifically try to work on. Yeah, well, it's fine for practice. Well, thank you everyone for coming to watch me draw, coming hanging out with me, keeping company while I draw. I am not a professional, but I always welcome people to come hang out with me because it just keeps our community a little bit more social. But I do have to go walk my dog and head out, so I will catch you guys on the next stream.